Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday morning. I don't know what actually morning it is when you're watching this, but I'm live on Facebook right now and it is Monday morning. So I wanted to talk about this first quarter moon, this moon cycle in general, where we're at, the full moon that will be in Taurus. It's going to be conjunct Uranus in Taurus, which is huge, shifty, changing energy. And at the same time, this is a very Venus cycle. So let's start with this new moon that we had. I already did a post. If you follow me or subscribe on YouTube, I have a YouTube post about this very Venus cycle, new moon in Libra, which is ruled traditionally by Venus, and the full moon in Taurus, which is also traditionally ruled by Venus. Okay, so it's a very Venus cycle. What is Venus, right? And we're also in a Venus retrograde, Venus in Scorpio. So what is Venus? Venus, I think of as the law of attraction. It's our desire. It's our the way that we attract energy into our life and the way that we give energy out into our life. And so it's giving and receiving. It is all forms of energy, but specifically related to love, related to money, related to anything that we desire. And so this is why this is such an potent moon cycle to set intention. So if you haven't set intention at the new moon, you definitely want to do so now. And as we come to this first quarter moon in Capricorn, which is Tuesday, I don't know the date. What is today? That's me for you. Anyway, it's Tuesday, tomorrow. And so as we come to this first quarter moon in Capricorn, Capricorn is the workhorse of the zodiac. And Capricorn is also, even though we think of it as a masculine sign, it's actually ruled, it's ruled by Saturn, but it is a feminine sign. It's an earth sign. And what is the earth? Earth is creation. Earth is stability. And there's a lot of shifting instability right now. And so to have this very stable and initiating force coming in at this first quarter moon, it can feel a little wobbly because there is so much shifting and changing, and at the same time we're being called to do the work. And we're being called to do the work, everything Venus. So as I was saying, our love life, our work life, because Capricorn rules our work life, but also Venus is very much into how we desire to make money, how we desire to work, how we desire to be seen in this world. So you want to know where your own personal placement of Venus is for this moon cycle in particular. So if you have Venus in an earth sign, you're going to definitely be feeling called to do more work with the earth. My kids are home and they were being so quiet. I have so many things happening, but two sick kids is also happening as well. So let's see where else I want to talk about. So because the full moon is also in an earth sign, it's in Taurus. Taurus is the seeds that have sprouted and are setting down their roots. And so it's really important to think about this because we have the moon in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, setting down our roots and in our self-love and what's coming up in terms of where we've been blocking or resisting looking at where we are afraid to love on ourselves. So that's really up. And then Uranus in Taurus as well. Uranus has been in Taurus. It's going to retrograde back through Aries for the last few degrees of Aries. Sorry, Paco, you're not going out right now. And then it's going to be back in Taurus. And Taurus is, again, like I was saying, those roots that are trying to set down. So it's very earth. And Uranus is changes, dramatic changes, sudden changes. So the full moon is conjunct right next to Uranus. And the sun is conjunct Venus at the full moon, which will be next week. So to celebrate all this, basically I'm doing a free astrology class on next Thursday. So if you've been interested in learning more about astrology, if you're considering maybe studying astrology, I'm going to be talking about my astrology school. It's a 12-week program with me. And if you've been at all interested, this is just an opportunity to come ask questions and understand the style of astrology that I teach. Everybody has a slightly different style, and it's really interesting to see which teachers and which styles you're called to study. Paco, come here. So that is happening next Thursday. Sit. And so we have that full moon, and at the full moon, it's also really vital to understand that we have this fixed energy. So we have The full moon, at that point, the sun will be into Scorpio, and the sun in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio on one side, the moon, sorry, call came through, the moon and Venus on one side, Uranus and the moon on the other, and then and then exactly opposite we have the north and the south node. The north and the south node in Aquarius and Leo. So our dharma, our past, our future, our karma is our past, our dharma is our future. This square to the nodes that this full moon is doing is just, it might even feel like your head's gonna explode, but it's all important work that we're doing. So I really want you to look, I hope you set intentions at the new moon. Again, like I said, if you haven't, that's okay. You can still set intentions. This week is about action. It's working towards those intentions, looking at what you want for yourself, what you want for your self-love, what you want for your work in the world, what you want for your relationships with your family, your relationships with friends, your relationships with lovers, whatever it is. And you want to look at that and you want to take some small action this week. This is the week of action. And next week, as we move into the full moon, we're going to be having awareness, and we're going to be brought into, sorry, my phone is blowing up. We're going to have more awareness about what it is that is being calling us into this work with Venus. And so, like I said, looking at what your natal Venus is in, I know, like, I have my Venus in Virgo, and that's in Earth. So if you look at this is a very Earth time period, we have Capricorn and the full moon in Taurus. So then I'm going to be feeling my Venus, my own Venus energy being brought into that, okay? And then even though we have Scorpio, so also if you have Venus in Scorpio, you're having your Venus return, so that's a big time. So it's just really important to know what your natal Venus is in, and if you know, definitely comment down below if you know that. And I just wanted to share also, if you've never worked with me individually, this is a great time to do so. And having your chart read, if you don't know your natal placements, it can just really be an asset to understand. With Venus, I feel like there's so much that we can understand about ourselves by knowing where our natal Venus is, knowing how close it is to our sun, what house it's in. All of those things are really vital for us to have that self-awareness and to know where our work is, because Venus is showing us where we want to express love, where we want to receive love. It's kind of like our love language, and so it's important to know where that is for you. So if you haven't had a chart reading with me, it's a great time to set that up. You can do it really easily by hopping onto my website. It's at the bottom of my homepage, or you can click on the astrology link. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful week. It is sunny out where I am. I hope it's sunny where you are, and soaking up those last little bits of the sun before it starts to get darker out when we do that whole time change dance. All right, have a beautiful day, guys, and comment below if you know where your natal Venus is or if you have any questions.